theoretically, we should be there. It looks like the microphone is working. I'm going to be probably glancing over that way a bit tonight, guys. Unfortunately, our production wombat has called in sick today, so I'm going to be trying to make sure that everything's good. If there are issues with the sound level, our mods will definitely let me know, so don't worry. If there is an issue, we'll get it fixed very quickly. Tonight, we have everybody back, which I'm just going to switch it over to the everyone screen here real quick and show everyone, because we have everybody. So I'm happy because we get to get back into a story with everybody here, and I don't have to try to run 47 characters at once, because that's far more daunting than I actually expected it to be. But we also have a few new things, as you can see on the overlay, one of which being this big bar up here. I don't know if I put my fingers outside of the box of me, but there's a bar up above all of us. What that is we have started a campaign for St. Jude. We are kind of aiming to raise funds for their Play Live series. It kind of goes through the spring season, is their big focus on raising funds. St. Jude is a hospital focused entirely on eradicating childhood cancer. And I've always been really big on helping children, and everybody else agrees with that as well. It's obviously something like you have to have no soul to not want to help kids. So that's why we put that on there. If you go to playlive.rolethis.com, you'll be able to go in and throw anything you want at that. Every single dollar does count. It does help. They actually have a thing out, I think, on the Play Live page that lists out how much it takes to run a certain amount or something. It's pretty cool to read all that. But our goal is 5,000 right now. We are new. This is this is a community that I've seen great things happen from, just in the general like D&D community. So we set a high goal to see if we can make it. So we also have our subscriber goal has changed as far as location and layout and stuff as well. So we are aiming to hit 25. Just as our first kind of milestone. We'll probably throw in some extra thing on that. Actually, I'll like commit to throwing in some extra thing right now, because we also have merch. And if we hit 25 subscribers, we'll do a random giveaway of this shirt, which is our like official logo shirt, the very first thing that we've got in our merch store, that we had in our merch store. We also have a bunch of other stuff now, and we will be adding new things as well. We just actually looked at a couple of different designs that we had kind of come up with. So let's see, with that, we also have our giveaway, weekly giveaway of dice. These again came from Tabletop. Yeah, I go there like almost once a week at least, it seems. So yeah, Tabletop Game and Hobby here in Overland Park, Kansas. These ones are the Vortex Orange and Black. I like to call them fire dice because they very much make me think of like a fireball. They are awesome. And if you would like to win some, all you have to do is hit !giveaway in the chat, and you can get entered in for those by going to the link. It takes you to a Gleam page, shows you like kind of more of a close-up picture of them, and gives you the opportunity to get entered in. The only thing you have to do is follow the channel, and then there are a bunch of other options on there. Subscribing to the channel gives you 10 extra entries, and you can do that for free with Twitch Prime, so why not if you have it available. And then you can also just like follow us on socials and stuff like that, and that will give you 18, I think it's 18 total entries or something like that. So gives you a lot of good chances to win. Anywho, I think that's all of the announcement things. If you didn't notice, we now have sound passing through. So whenever I'm doing all those things of like triggering a fire spell, it should play through the speakers here and the speakers for the stream. So hopefully that is functional. We may need to modify the volume on it to give it a little bit more oomph, but we'll see. And yeah, so that is the last thing, I believe. And with that, this is where I wish we had an intro. So I'm just going to pause. And then we're going to go. So last week, we were missing a couple of players, so I took over the helm of just running combat-wise Maze and Bryn. And we had Bobby here running Kayla Strats, of course, because it's his character. They were at the door of the old woman's house that they had previously gone up to for information, and she had told them to come back because it was evening at the time. It was also a really good segue for us to be like, oh crap, we don't have two players here, so But they all walked towards the inn, suddenly hearing a crash from the docks and the bells of alarm going out throughout Feldar. Upon leaving the western gate, they saw a battered and bruised ship smashed into the Feldar docks, and a horde of zombies that had jumped off and were running towards the merchant ship of Captain Rugrak and back in towards the town as well. So it's kind of a big problem. Captain Rugrak and First Mate Thimdall, two dwarven merchants, helped out with Kalitstrats, Mazikeen, and Bryn in their fight against the zombies, and they surprisingly well dispatched them with 1 point of damage being dealt throughout the entire encounter towards like an actual primary party member or towards Thimdall or Rugrak. The dwarven merchants that were just sailors, they took quite a beating, but they survived. So
well, that's what they get for wearing red shirts.
The irony of that is that Rugrak does have a red coat on, so he's got a velvet red like pirate coat type looking thing. He actually very much resembles like who you would imagine like Blackbeard looking like if he had a red coat on. So the battle laid down. Kalitstrats' letter was transmitted via Astral Letter, which is a spell that I'm actually homebrewing but haven't finished yet. And it was sent towards Marikos by Thimdall. Then they decided with, Thimdall brought up to Rugrak that he wanted to search the ship that had crashed. So Rugrak and the rest of the crew began to dispose of the bodies, sending them downriver is what we're going to go with. And then Mazikeen, Bryn, Kalitstrats, and Thimdall went over to the other ship. And now they have heard a sound below decks. And that is where we will pick things up at this exact moment.
All right.
Did you guys hear that?
What? I don't know what it sounded like, though.
Guess we better go check that out.
Why we're here.
We should be careful. I mean, we just dispatched a large number of undead. So whatever's down there is sure to be scarier.
Well, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
All right. Thimdall kind of listens to you guys' conversation and gives kind of a worried, like, yeah. And then just kind of starts slowly making his way around the kind of, I don't know, what's it called? Hatch? Like the cargo holds trap door or whatever that is.
Yeah, hatch.
And slowly makes his way up to that. And you guys should have that on your screens for Roll20, and all of you will have control of your own characters, supposedly, at this point. Bryn is the staff-wielding, purple-jacketed guy because it had a staff. Mazikeen is the purple, robed with the red hair, or brown hair, whichever you would call that. Okay. And then, of course, the highly armored giant one there is Kalitstrats. And all these zombies over here that are like red dots on them, they're dead. They're just scattered about the deck, or the dock itself. But I moved them out of the way just to clean things up a little bit.
So they're dead again.
They are dead, and they are not coming back. They have like heads removed,
Dead undead.
Clean them up.
Dead.
Yeah, so they're being slowly, like, I don't know, I guess just thrown into the river. It seems like it's kind of an absurd way to do things.
I'm sure that the city watch will be more than happy to burn
corpses.
Yeah.
away from the town.
Water.
Yeah, we're gonna say that since all of the dwarves are the ones dealing with it, though, they're just throwing them in the river, regardless of what the town thinks. Because I just got ideas. So.
Yeah. May seem this.
I didn't like that.
Yeah. I bet Bryn hated that.
Bryn will, yes.
That's amazing.
And then Maze just looks at this and, man, I really wouldn't trust these dwarves to do any kind of task whatsoever. Like, deliver a letter or something.
Well, they have already taken care of that. Okay. So where are you guys specifically?
So we're on the large ship. We heard the noise
I
coming
see you
from
guys.
this one or the second one?
From the one that you're currently on.
Okay,
The one
so
that's
the one
docked like properly, that's Rugrak's ship.
Oh, okay.
So that's the one they had come in and they had docked up, unloading a few supplies, spending the night in the inn, and then they were going to travel on. But things hit the fan.
All right. Well, I assume it will be dark down there. Is he opening the hatch or is he just standing by it?
Oh, he's trying to find a creature, character thing that was here last time when he typed in the thing he just typed. That's what's happening to him.
So he's deep in thought. Got you.
He's deep in thought,
He's
like
working open the hatch.
yeah.
So we'll just watch this little man struggle.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, it's not like I can do anymore.
I mean, we're like
That'll
resting
do
up.
it.
We
Yeah,
just killed a
yeah,
bunch of
just
dead
kinda
things.
chilling or something. I wanted to use that one because it was like cool. Obviously, shit's about to happen because you've heard something happening underneath the deck.
it's a
There's
loud
something
thudding,
alive down
right?
there, and I'm trying to find a placeholder for it and it annoys me that I can't.
Is there really an attachment to the ship at all?
What do you mean?
I guess
Does-
we don't
does
know.
anybody
We don't
care?
know what the ship is.
If there's something really big and nasty trapped underneath, why don't we just burn the ship with
Burn
the
the
thing
ship?
inside?
Burn the ship!
Burn
Scuttle
the
it!
ship?
Burn it!
Scuttle it.
Scuttle it.
Scuttle!
Scuttle her up.
Probably needed to investigate the cause.
I mean, Maze
We
goes over
found
there
it,
to the
so-
hatch and I shout down, "Hello, are you human down there?"
Figure out why
okay.
there's a ship full of
Roll
zombies crashing
a
into it.
dexterity check for me.
Dex?
Yep.
Dexterity. Nat 20.
Did you really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Perfect. So almost like as if you sensed it before it happened, you grab Thimdall and jump back right after yelling down there. And at that moment, the bottom of the deck just opens up
Oh.
and like shatters up in front of you, and out of it bursts. I wish we had like slow motion mode here.
The Kraken!
Yeah, so I'm really annoyed because I actually just had it. There it is, I think.
The
Yes.
finger wag of justice.
So this is just the one we're going to use.
Giant finger.
It is the
Oh.
previous captain of the ship.
Ah.
But he has also been turned undead. He jumps up out of there. He's been mutated to this massive sized where he towers over even Caleb Strats. He's at like
tall.
7.5 feet tall.
That's a
Its
big boy.
arms are mutated longer and almost to the point where they could like drag on the ground if it hunched over. Its legs are spindled and gnarled all the way through. Its skin is a deep greenish gray and like sloughing off the side of its face, revealing part of his skull. He jumps forward and is going to, because you rolled a natural 20, not immediately attack, but be jumped up and be about to attacking, and that's when we're going to roll initiative.
Okay.
Okay. Before we roll initiative, can I roll insight to tell whether or not it's intelligent, or does it seem like it's reanimated and it's just an automaton, like it's just going to attack whatever's nearby? Like, is this, like, can I tell that it's got its own motives, or can I just...
I kind of want to. I think that would fall in more of a medicine check type of category.
Try to reason.
So I would go ahead and roll a medicine check and see
Okay.
what you end up with.
5. We don't have medicine.
5.
You
Yeah.
don't listen.
It just it looks just
Just looks monstrous.
enraged, monstrous, and about to attack whatever
Okay.
is directly in front of it, which is you guys at the moment.
Okay.
So, let's see here. I need my board.
The board.
The board of fate. I actually might have to write that on here in Sharpie or something. So, anybody
Oh, initiative.
25 to 20 on initiative?
No.
Somebody was.
Yes.
Not. Oh, were you too?
20.
20, nice, okay. So you and Thimdall will actually go first. You and then him. Okay. And then, which I wrote in reverse order, but we'll figure it out as we go. And then 15 to 20? Nice.
17.
15.
Okay, so
Old
Maze,
today.
and then Kale. All right. And I don't think that it had any bonuses to initiative. Nope. Does not. +0. So, it will go last. Perfect. So, Bryn, what will you do first?
I would like to wild shape
Okay, nice.
into a brown bear.
Very cool. That's honestly one of my favorite wild shapes based on the stats that are there. I love it.
And so yeah, it seems pretty cool. So I basically just like as I'm like morphing into it, get down on all fours and then
What do you do?
Just-
Oh.
Oh.
And do you have your
Look at
stats
him.
up for that?
Yeah.
Do I still call him
Are you
Tree
through
Boy?
D&D Beyond? I believe they'll be the same regardless,
we don't have to
but
call him
I'm just using that
furry.
guy that's ready.
okay. You have a creatures
Although he
tab
does
on
look
there.
like-
It'll be
I do.
easier to track that way because
Yeah, on the
it goes
side,
action,
page
spells,
for more
equipment,
than
and all the way to the right is creatures.
Yeah, hey.
So
Maybe we could do that.
I thought I had actually added it there because I added the
I
black
see a
bear
black
for
bear,
you.
yeah.
But the brown bear is
Are there differences?
larger. Yeah, but you would still be able to do it.
Fun fact: black bear, most superior over there.
I've added it in there for you. So you have more hit points with the brown bear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's technically classified as a large beast in this instance, but you're fine with that because it's not like you can still cast spells and stuff. So you're now a giant brown
Right.
bear with double the hit points you had previously, but a lower armor class. And you have a +3 on nature, +5 on animal handling, +5 on medicine, +5 on perception, +5 on survival. Passive perception is now
The bear
15.
knows more about medicine
And-
than I do.
Yeah. And you have a movement speed of 40 now as well, along with a climbing speed of 30. So if for some reason you wanted to go up the mast, you could
Right.
do that as well and get to the top of it.
That would be pretty cool.
Because the main mast
Can
would
you
be
go-
about 30 feet up.
Are you going to go berserk?
Alright.
Oh.
We're starting out early.
I think we're going to have to
Yes.
title this whole campaign like Puns Unlimited or something.
Right. No, so I'm basically just gonna charge in, pounce, and do a bite and a claw attack because I
Perfect.
get to
Yep.
do both.
Because you get to do both. Yep. So go ahead and roll
I'm
on
gonna
that.
roll for the bite first.
You can really bring
Actually-
the bear a lot of damage.
Claw first, and then after.
So you-
Right.
Perfect. I love it.
Makes more sense.
Yep.
Well, that's an 8, so that's not gonna do it.
8.
That's an 11.
Neither one of them hit. So it's like while it is like just decayed humanoid, it has a weird amount of like dexterity and speed to just as you come at it and you kind of just shoot right into air, right as you expected to hit this thing because all the others you had just fought were slow moving type of zombies, whereas this one is just like jumps to the side and gives you kind of a look that almost resembles the kind of look you've seen in like a feral animal or a rabid animal before.
It's a ghoul.
Yeah, it doesn't have the dead in the eyes look. It just has this like fired up, like I'm going to attack and kill you kind of appearance to it. And with that, Thimdall is going to just back up. He is very like thrown on his heels about this whole scenario, so he's backing up his full movement, and that is going to be his turn.
Apparently, it's unbearable for him.
Right. He's actually going to go all the way onto the
I'm gonna be
docks.
limited on punch
He's gonna-
bears.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to step back to the docks. He's still there. Like, if you guys are going to fight this, he may help, but he's got this look like he does not want to be involved in this. Like, he's not really much of a fighter. He just fights when he absolutely has to.
Oh,
And that was
love
kind
it.
of the way
So
that he
he's
portrayed
scared.
himself last time. So he's just
He's
like,
saying he's scared.
ooh. No, he's not scared. He's more cautious and wary about getting in the middle of things. So, with that, it brings us to Maze.
Okay. I got some new things. That's why I was just checking out to see what I wanted to do.
Please.
But considering what we just used the last time and it worked pretty well, I guess I will start with Toll the Dead.
Okay.
Okay, why not?
Go ahead and do that.
It worked well the last time.
Yeah. Is there a save on
Wait,
that?
do
or
I
do
have
you
to?
just
Let's
roll
see
an attack
here.
on that? Toll the Dead. Target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw. Okay. Which is against your 11. It has to get over an 11 on his Wisdom save.
What's that at? Oh, okay, thank you.
Oh,
It did not.
he rolled an 11,
Okay.
But his wisdom is
but he has a
negative.
-2. Yeah. So
He's a zombie.
yeah, he is told. So do the damage on that.
So that would be a 1d8. Sorry, where's my 1d8? Oh, there it is.
I just pointed.
You just pointed. Thanks. I did.
Your dice are there.
It helped. A 7.
7?
Yeah, I
7
rolled a
points of
7.
damage. Okay. And is there anything else you will do?
Oh, well, let's see. I am close enough to it, right?
I don't know where you exactly are.
Let's see. Well, he was right in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you're in melee with him right now.
Okay, so I did that. Oh, Toll the Dead is a cantrip. I apologize. I meant to
Yeah.
do a spell first
So
on that one.
if I was looking this up, and I think if you do any spell, you then can't do any other spell.
Got
So like
you.
if you do
Because that was the
a
whole
main
point. You gotta
spell,
do
or
a
if you
spell
do a
and then a
cantrip,
cantrip.
yeah. So like otherwise it'd just be like for a warlock it'd be Eldritch Blast and then like
Whatever cantrip.
magic missile or whatever. Like you would do both of those things at the same time.
So that's all I
kind
could
of
do
thing.
since I did it in the wrong
Yeah, you'd
order.
have like one spell. You could still attack with your knives if you wanted to. You could still have movement, but you will get an attack of opportunity if you move out of range with him. It just depends on what you want to do.
I will go ahead and just use my dagger on him and just slash at him.
Perfect. Roll for attack.
Let's see, that was a 16
Plus.
plus, gosh. Oh, with the dagger is.
I
plus-
didn't have it loud enough earlier
Yeah,
when I did it.
19, 13. Yeah, plus 3.
What?
You rolled a 19.
Nice. Okay, cool. I thought you said plus 30 for a second, but you
No,
said plus
no.
3. Either way, that
Sorry, it's
definitely
the
hits.
accent.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Okay.
How'd you get a plus 30? What kind of
no.
dagger did you find?
Magic. It's amazing what you can find at Comic-Con.
Yeah, right?
Okay, so it's a 1d4 plus 1.
Okay.
Oh, big roll. 5.
He's just over here max rolling all
Right, yeah. So
All
7
night.
plus 5.
Apparently
is
these
12.
were blessed
Just take
while
care
I
of the
was
fight
at
Right.
the convention.
So,
Okay.
who's next?
Trying to track this in a different way today because I think it'll
I'm gonna try
make
and track it myself, and I'm like,
life
wait,
easier. Yeah, so
plus 7.
yeah,
Yeah.
Was that your D8? Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever. I'll just add it to it because I know what number we're supposed to hit, and then it's right there on the screen, so it should be fine. Encounter Builder needs to get here soon because with my subscription, we'll be able to have that soon. So we have Kale next.
Alright, so I'm feeling pretty good. I killed a number of zombies. I don't have my breath weapon, but I do have my kind of key ability. So we're gonna move here, here, here. So I'm flanking, right?
Okay.
Yes.
So I get
100%.
So I get advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to use one of my spell slots to smite.
Okay.
Ooh.
Go ahead and
This is
do
all
what
big.
you do with that.
I will.
Smite. Why doesn't it show up here?
Just amazed you didn't notice
features
this
and
giant
traits.
dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Divine Smite.
now that's my intent, but I do have to hit And then I can determine whether I want to smite after
Okay.
that. That's how...
So you would swing with your sword, and then if you connect, you then
I can do like...
add the smite. Okay, perfect. Yep.
Right. Do you want the natural roll or the whole number?
Both.
Okay, natural roll of 19.
Okay.
And then, so whole number is 24.
Okay, that definitely hits.
Yes.
So I'm going to roll again because I have an advantage on crits happen. They don't, not this time.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so now it is 2d6 plus 3. And I got a 1 here, and since I took great weapon fighting, I can re-roll that.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm. That's great.
Got another 1, but that's fine. I am going to smite.
It was destined.
Can I borrow your D8?
Go for it.
So I'm lost here. What was the first rolls were to hit? The first roll was to hit, and then
Yes.
you had the second
Because-
roll to do your double attacks. And
well, I
then,
did the first roll,
yep,
and then second roll for advantage,
yeah.
because you never know. when
right. But
20
that's
comes
the
up.
one thing. And then
Okay,
what was
so-
the second roll?
Hit resolves. This next roll here of 6 and 1 was my damage roll.
Okay.
All right, but since I have great weapon fighting, and
Right.
so I roll a 1 with
Yep.
my weapon,
You re-roll that
I can
again.
re-roll it.
Perfect.
I rolled another 1, so it's still 7.
Yep.
Plus 3.
Okay.
So that's the weapon, and now I'm about to roll for my smite.
Perfect. Now we're all on the same page. 10.
So much damage coming at him.
What is okay? So I did an additional 2 radiant damage.
So 12 total points of damage with 2 of them being radiant.
Right.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, these are a little hard to read sometimes.
12.
Too much stuff on
I'm rolling his
Okay.
D7 next time.
them.
You're using up all of your
I
luck.
know, that's all of the luck just kind of.
Okay.
It's like
Did I
the
say
mist.
D7?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
We're into those
I guess,
MC Escher shapes.
I just realized that Bryn. Oh no, you're adjacent like that. So I thought you had to move to be where you were when you'd done your attack, but you don't because you're diagonal right up against him.
I can't
So-
move myself anyway. So
Really?
Oh, you can't?
You're supposed to be able to.
I click and it
No,
does
just
nothing.
hold yourself right there. It's
Yeah.
a good spot.
It's fine. I'm alright.
I haven't tried to move
No,
me.
you're not. The thing that really annoys me
Oh.
about the way that it would be a Google Chrome issue, I guess, probably more Roll20 issue. I don't know. But when I click on who controls a thing, it pops up my addresses and stuff to auto input it, and it doesn't do
Oh,
your
yours is
guys'
like
names,
handmade, really?
but you do have
Oh.
control now. You may have to refresh, but you've been designated control of him properly. So that brings us
Yeah,
to
I couldn't move myself. Oh, well.
the creature's turn.
Okay.
So
oh no,
Edge.
I'm on edge.
I'm on the edge and it's working.
Okay, I was
I'm
gonna
just
use
doing
both of you have
Probably.
done damage to it, but the more immediate, instantaneous damage was inflicted by the giant shiny paladin. So it's gonna turn around
Oh, he's beating me.
and make, let's see, it's going to do 2 claw attacks at you, because it's on its hands. You notice now as it raises them up, it's got these blackened nails protruding out about 2 or 3 inches from the tips of its fingers, and raises up and swings with the one on the right. And what's your... You still 16 on your armor class?
Mhm.
Okay. So if it doesn't have any bonuses, that will miss, but... 2 melee attacks. Melee. I guess it doesn't. I would say...
Done.
Melee weapon attack plus 7 to hit. Yes. Wow, that's confusing actually. So it has... It doesn't actually say what its attack damage is on this individual. It says it makes 2 melee attacks, and then it has Empowered Slam, which is a melee weapon attack. Oh, I see. So
So you go
actions
off of
could be
his weapon.
multi-attack, but its melee weapon attack is plus that. Nah, it can't be plus 7. I think this
It
character
could.
is not properly made. Because it is No, it's
he's
like
dead now.
the problem with it is like it's missing a sentence. Like the sentence of what its attack damage is not here.
It looks like it's a 1d4.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing.
I mean, the only one I'm seeing is a 1d6
Okay.
plus 4, so there's that.
Yeah, with that.
And
It sounds about right for claws.
I mean, it can be, but yeah. So I guess here's what I'll do. I'll consider the hit of here because this is part of a larger attack. The hit for its claws is going to be 1d6 plus 4 each time, or any kind of bites or melee attacks, whatever. It does have another thing it can do. That's where I'll add the plus 7 on, and it won't be a plus 7 to hit on the claw attacks. So this does exactly miss, like by 1.
Exactly.
So on the first one. So then it swings to the left and
It's the shiny sword.
still misses. I really kind of want to add that plus 7 now. But it misses again. So swings over you. It's still unfamiliar with this new form, and so it swings kind of wide and wildly, and you just duck out of the way. And now we are back to Bryn.
Me.
You get
Well, I'm a
advantage.
big old bear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I get advantage then.
Because he's looking at me.
But you're not flanking specifically.
is.
No, because
Yeah,
he's on
really?
the left side. He's off to the side. He's not. There's no way for him to flank. Maze is flanking.
Oh, okay.
But unless you
if I'm there,
moved
that's not a
around.
Oh, see, he
Where are
moved.
you?
I can't move.
No, that is
I don't
not a
think- can I
flank.
move?
At least not what I'm seeing. If you're still right to the left of Maze.
No, I moved one.
He moved
spot
up
forward.
one.
No, that's not a flank. Because flank is like directly across.
So where I'm at.
Yeah. So like
Oh,
you'd have to be
How do I-
either like straight in front. Like if you look past the thing, you're looking in the eyes of your
Sure,
ally.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think mine's
All right, well,
broken.
whatever.
Yeah. Now, if you were like a rogue, I think there's some engaged aspect, but in this instance, that doesn't apply.
Well, whatever. I'm a big scary bear, and I'm gonna do
Right.
big scary bear things.
And yes, Roll20 is broken on this computer. Wonderful.
It's okay. I can't
So that
control
one was
me.
a 16.
Okay, a 16 does hit.
That's it. That was my bite. So that's an 11.
11 points of damage.
Yep.
Okay. So that is 35. Okay.
And that's a 20.
Natural 20?
No.
Oh, okay. So that definitely hits.
It's a dirty
Yeah.
20. Yeah.
Yeah, I
We're
was
like,
like,
oh. Those dirty 20s.
That's another 11.
Another 11 points of damage? Yep. Okay. So that makes that.
So it's a bite
Wow.
and a claw.
Okay. Perfect.
Brynny the Pooh is so angry.
Brady the Pooh. Oh my goodness.
Really?
Jesus.
Why am I here?
Yes.
Right. Like, done. That's it.
Maze is
Walks
back.
out, knocks over the cameras. Can't handle this.
It's
fine.
God. Okay, so then Thimdall's out of it, so he's not in on this. Maze.
So is it Thindle just like shocked
He's
or
just-
like?
No, he's just away. He's
He
just
just
like, fuck
bailed.
this, you guys got
Kinda-
it.
He's got
Is
it.
that-
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna let these random weirdos deal with this as opposed to get myself into danger.
Okay, I was wondering like what was he doing?
Right. He's very kind of like aloof overall. Just kind of doesn't want to deal with this. He wanted knowledge and to know what's going on around him and stuff, so he wanted to investigate. But now that there's a threat, no, that's not his thing.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just double checking
Yep, that's
my
fine.
ability here. I got a few new ones, so I was just checking them out. Oh, that's a new one. Okay. Sorry, I'm just reading on this one. Yeah, this is a new one. I kind of want to try this one, but I could see it going kind of bad.
Okay.
Channel Divinity, turn undead.
I'm gonna have to I read that actually.
It just
on
says as an
somebody else,
action
but-
you present your holy symbol.
And,
It says each undead that can see or hear you within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. DC of 11 again.
Okay.
If the creature fails its saving throw,
Did you say channel divinity?
yeah.
Okay, so it's similar to what he did with his smite. You can channel divine energy to fuel magical effects a number of times per short rest based on your level. So at second level, you would have had this option as well. Channel divinity is once per short rest at second level, and it adds to your stuff, I believe. Or did you said turn undead? I'm sorry.
Yeah, turn undead.
That's turn undead is the first time I saw it was listed under channel divinity.
Yeah, it says it has to make the wisdom. If the creature it spends its turn trying to move away. If it can't take reactions. We can only use dash and try to escape.
Okay, so yeah, that's part of that. So I had to refresh D&D Beyond as well too, which is weird because everything else has just automatically popped up to lock in for yours. So yeah, so it makes a DC of 11 save, and that's a 2. -2, so it's a 0.
Oh.
So he does not save. He's looking the other direction, and whatever you do, you do. So you said he is afraid of you.
Yeah, so he is now, if it fails its saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. But a turned creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from me as it can. And it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It can't also take reactions.
And for its action, it can use only the dash action or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. There's no other move. The creature can use a dodge. So how does it get out? Oh, until it takes any damage.
Yeah, until it takes any damage. Or on its next turn, if it takes no damage, I think it has to roll to like a saving roll each time.
It doesn't actually list this like another save on it, but
it
that would make sense. So that's what we'll go with.
Yeah. Oh no, it's turned for 1 minute.
It's for 1 minute. 1 minute. For a whole minute.
No,
so yeah, regardless, or until damage. Yep, I just read that this like the exact second you did.
So he's got to run.
Okay, on his turn.
Yes.
Unless he takes damage from.
Correct.
Kale, whose turn it is now. Unless you got anything else you were doing.
No, I'm not going to do anything right now.
He's not running anywhere.
I say, are you communicating that you've done this, or in any manner?
Well, it's something I have to say and do.
I mean, she's chanting a prayer.
I would say, so are you over here going, or are you like going, run away?
Well, I think it's kind of like, it's the power of Christ compels.
Right,
right, it's...
yeah, and then, I just, yell at it, and it's like, flee, you fool! And pretty much that scares him. I mean, he's going to hear it.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that, it was out as, a,
it is something that will be noticeable, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just over here like, maybe not.
Perfect.
Does not care.
Do what you do.
It's like,
all right, so does a 14.
Do you 14 get any advantage because I'm flanking?
You would have advantage still on that, but a 14 does not hit.
Okay, so I do have advantage?
Yeah, you would have advantage because I'm flanking.
Because you are still flanking because you are directly eye to eye with Maze.
Okay. 21.
That does hit. Yay, he gets to keep fighting!
Alright, so there's 9 for the damage roll. I am going to smite again.
Okay, so 9 damage.
So that's just on the sword. Now we've got the 2d8.
Okay.
Plus 10.
Okay.
19.
This dice like it.
Alrighty. Sounds good. Okay. So... alright, so Maze, you cast your spell upon it. It turns and looks at you with its eyes shooting wide in fear, and then struck in the back. It looks back up.
10 radiant damage.
And it makes its 2 attacks against you now.
Okay.
So its first one.
Good distraction.
Yes.
Is a 10, which does not hit.
Oh, dang.
You are a 12. Ooh, that almost hit though. That one does hit. And with a 14. So, you take 1d6 plus 4 from the claw.
The claw.
Ooh, that one danced around a lot and resulted in a 6. So you have just taken 10 points of damage from this beast. Yeah.
He's scary.
He just rakes across the top of your chest, like opening up the collar and ripping into your skin just a little. Then, as it happens, it starts to like simmer with this black energy. It is necrotic damage.
Hellish Rebuke is when I take damage. I do that on my turn, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when it reverts the damage back against the thing. Or I'm sorry, you do it as a reaction. Hellish Rebuke, I believe, is a reaction.
How does that work? It says one reaction. Okay, I take in response to being damaged.
Reaction, Hellish Rebuke. So yeah, when you get hit.
So when it's my turn, I do it?
No, right now.
Oh, right now. Okay.
Right now.
So
I point my finger at the creature and you're like, what finger wag of justice? And the creature that damaged you is surrounded by hellish flames. Mm-hmm. The creature must make a dex saving throw.
It has
which needs, it is already dexterous. Dex save of 13.
13?
Yeah.
All right. And it succeeds with a 15.
Okay. Let's see. It'll take. Okay, it takes 2d10,
half as much.
But half as much.
So you roll 2d10, and it'll take half as much as what
I actually put that away because I didn't think I needed a 2d10. Thank you.
There's one.
Okay.
Do you want my second?
Okay. We'll see how mine do for my hand.
That's a 10.
Oh, that was like, what's a 0?
The 0 is a 10 because there's a 1.
Oh, okay. And then that would be
16.
Okay.
So 16 points of fire damage on him? Okay.
Okay, so I used
16.
That.
Oh, that's convenient. I have a 4 up here, so I just add the 6. Which makes it that plus that.
Mama May says no.
Alrighty. So, he strikes against you, and right as this happens, you raise your finger up in front of him, and just he lights in fire, and it just whips around his body, and he just screams in anger and anguish, and like kind of falls to one knee in this fire, trying to like pat its shoulders out. And as the fire kind of dies down, it stands back up. It's kind of looking around, even more feral than it was previously. And that brings us back around to Bryn.
It's on fire?
It's like an instantaneous, like it happens and then it kind of goes away, so it's fading away.
So it's still up, still shambling around.
Yeah.
Man. It's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't want to not be a bear.
Usually a good idea.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just gonna...
The choices are bear or not bear.
Yeah. Go for the bear.
Your choice is bear or not bear. Be bear.
Bear hit points drops to 0.
To bear or not to bear.
I guess I'll bite and claw again.
Okay, perfect. Roll your attacks.
That's a...
He has to maul it over a bit.
19.
You hit.
Plus 6.
That hits. That definitely hits.
Okay.
Yeah, 25. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Maul.
Oh.
So that one's just 6 damage on that one.
Okay.
And that's a 21.
That hits. Jesus, this fucking bear.
That's 14 damage.
Okay.
It's amazing what a vacation will do for you.
Right?
You come back and bear now.
Righty.
Perfect. Big scary bear.
Right?
Scare bear. Aww.
Alrighty, and then we have... Is that everything for you?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
More.
Then to... and then we come back around to Maze again now.
Okay, I am close enough, so I've been hurt, but I'm gonna do something before I do my special cantrip.
You really found your bearing.
Oh.
And?
Yes. That's a good one.
Really annoying.
Okay, so I've already used that one.
I can barely handle these puns.
Robert's got
one.
jokes.
Oh.
He's got them. He's here. He's back.
I showed up.
So what I want to do is I'm just going to do another dagger stab, and then I'm going to follow it up with my cantrip.
Okay.
Okay. So roll
your attack on the dagger.
Dagger. Ooh, that's a 4. No.
Okay, so you go to knife your dagger forward, and it like actually kind of comes back in an instant to its more human figure, and just bats your hand out aside, and just like grabs it and throws it off to the side. And now,
And with that, I do vampiric touch.
okay, so with that, it's just straight up. So you roll your damage on that.
Okay, and then my touch. What do we do?
It'd actually be cool if like it grabbed her
Oh, it's a
arm and she was
1d6.
like,
Actually, honestly,
yeah, that's how I
you
do
could
it.
do
It's
that.
like,
You wouldn't even have to touch it with your hand. You could just be like,
Oh, that's
because it's your body.
true,
So
yes. Go rogue on her.
he got bamboozled.
Ew, that was only a 2.
okay, so
1d6.
perfect.
You heal too, though.
Oh yeah, I do heal too.
That's nice.
That's true.
You know, you could take another.
There we go. Alright, so I did dagger, and that would be it. Because I will still maintain where I'm at to give him a flanking advantage.
How much did you heal on that? It's half of whatever the
Is
damage
it?
was. Yep.
Oh, it's half. Oh, sorry. I'm going to take away 1 damage.
Wait.
You can make the attack again on each. Okay, yeah, cool.
'Cause in the past
I was just making
I've
sure it
done
didn't
it. Yeah.
have like a bonus because it started to read like it did. I made the damn thing. I ought to know what it says. But cool. So yeah,
Alright.
that is
That's it.
fine and dandy because that's just straight up touch. Concentration up to 1 minute technically, but that was the only way to make it not relevant as a roll.
Yeah.
So Kale, what will
I-
you do? Swing your sword and smite it?
Going to hit it with my sword.
Okay.
Okay, 1722.
Saved by the fold.
Okay, we're gonna go with the 22 roll.
Okay. Yep. You still are flanking because it hasn't moved. Neither of any of you. So everybody's just like, we're gonna surround this thing and attack.
Okay, so 15 on the sword damage.
Okay.
Can I borrow that again?
What
The
the
D8.
Yep.
Plus 13, so 15 plus 28.
Wow.
It's 13 is what I need to add because I already added the other. 13 makes 18. Okay. I don't like this. Not this. I love this. I don't like the
I don't
like
care.
I clicked on the wrong
do
spot
like
and like added it.
28 damage in one roll.
I turned his damage to like over 1,000 instead of to like what it says.
like that.
Nice.
That would have killed me.
Yes.
Right, yeah. So perfect. So are you eating anything else?
Is it alive?
It's still standing.
It's still standing.
It's beat up, but it's still
It's a hardy
standing.
zombie.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not just a zombie.
It's a captain.
I mean,
It is,
don't
I mean,
have
it's
any free
beat to
actions.
crap right now, but yeah.
Don't have any free actions, so you know,
Perfect. So you're just gonna laugh at it.
going to do lots of damage and see what it does.
Perfect. So the zombie is actually going to turn towards the bear that keeps annihilating it, and it's going to do its empowered slam, which I believe means it would take both of its hands up over its head and just, and it does that twice. So it's going to,
Fair.
and
Better not
first,
good at avoiding.
yeah, is exactly 11 because that's the +7 on the empowered slam. So that hits, which means it's 1d6 plus 2d6. So that's weird that it works that way.
I would think so.
Mm-hmm.
By now.
Did it bare its teeth first?
Oh my
Oh.
goodness! So I rolled 2 6s and a 4. So 16 points of damage on that.
All right.
That's crazy. That's twice. And with this die, I've only rolled 6s today.
Oh.
That's exciting. I'm going to keep those separate. And I still don't have roll 20, which is really annoying because I need it now. I don't... Try something. Try logging into it on Edge. And that is the zombie's turn at the moment. Actually, so I can't move it. I want to move it, but I can't move it because I can't access Roll20.
That'll be all right.
So just imagine that it's stepped away from, no, because there's all three of you going to hit that way. So it's going to stay because I can't move it, so we'll just consider that. So we're back around to the bear.
The bear.
Not bear. Well,
The bear.
I really didn't like being slammed.
I can imagine.
So I am...
Most bears more like tops, I think.
Anyway.
Funny thing is, I didn't actually get that one, so.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll tell you when you're older.
I just laughed because everybody else laughed.
Anyway, I would like to try and bite an arm off.
Okay.
Specifically, bite and claw an arm off.
Okay, so to do your regular roll to bite it, and yeah, and then do that.
That's going to be 17.
17 will hit. Now roll again, just a d20.
Well, that's a nat 1.
Okay, you did not bite the arm off.
Okay.
It was on like a 10, like an under 10, over 10 scale,
Right.
but yeah, you definitely did not do it.
So that's 8 damage for the bite. Can I still claw it?
Damage for the bite, yes.
Also 17. That's a 9 damage for that.
Okay, so 9 damage is the amount of damage you've done? Or did you have another thing of damage on there too with your bites? Or was that
I
the
said
bite?
8 was the bite. And
8?
then 9 for the
8
claw.
plus 9. Okay, so we've got
17.
17 more than what's on here, which makes that some form of math, which should be roughly that number. Cool. Okay, still standing, but very much wrecked. Like just kind of shambling, like its bones are all protruding now. You've got its flesh in your teeth. You've got its flesh in your teeth probably at this point, knowing Maze.
Is there like a tinge of like golden burning?
Yeah, he's
All the
like
radiant damage I've just been
like
pulling
across
it.
its chest, there's like almost the mark of the blades like carved into it now. So just
Like
like
Zorro.
glowing with gold. With a great sword, you're like Zorro. I love it. So,
But it's a K.
yeah, or that you're just doing a K in its chest. Yeah, I can see that being more realistic even for Kale. Ooh, we'll have to wait one moment while Maze attacks.
Okay. Dagger again. I'll
Okay.
try for it. Okay. Oh, you're a bad dice. 5.
5.
Bad.
That does
Bad.
not
We're not
hit.
using that. And then, of course, follow cantrip with Vampiric
Okay.
Smack,
Okay.
which is... I should know this by now as much as I use it.
1d6.
My 1d6. Oh, this one. That's a 1.
Okay.
That was a D6.
That is a D6.
I saw
yeah.
that roll. and I
Oh,
was
no,
like,
no.
Oh my god, a 20!
No.
20 points
One
of
hit
damage
the other
off a
one and made it
d6.
a 20. Yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah, okay, perfect.
Right.
So next to nothing happens,
Yes.
and then we are on Kale again.
I smack
I
like a
hit it with
cleric.
my sword.
Oh, who would have guessed?
So shiny.
Look, I'm a simple man with simple tastes.
You like to hit
That
with the sword.
taste is steel.
Nice, I like that.
23.
23 hits.
No more smites, unfortunately. We'll smite it out. Okay, reroll.
That'll do.
11 plus 3, 14.
14 is the damage?
Correct.
Okay. Which makes that... it is barely hanging on.
Ooh, barely.
We already used the barely pun.
And with a,
I know, we'd
with
run
a
out
strong
quickly.
hint of irony, it is now the bear's turn.
Alright. spatial thing for this, but I would like to charge it.
Okay, cool.
Like just
like run into it kind
Give
of
it a
thing.
bear hug.
Oh.
Okay. Kind of somersault across it or something.
I like that.
Bear hug it.
Bear hug.
So you rear up on your back legs, now matching its height. Wrap your arms around it and make a grapple check basically. So it's just roll the d20 and we'll go from there.
Strength.
Then add your strength. Yeah.
It's an 18.
18.
Yep.
Okay.
14 plus 4.
And you have like just
I don't know
what's
how
your
grapple
melee damage on it?
Just the bears.
Yeah. What's your melee die?
Well, it uses either D8 or D6 depending on.
Okay, so
claws.
roll a d6.
Claws?
Yeah, I would say the claws are like digging into its back as you press it against your chest.
So 2. The modifier is 4, so 6.
6. So it's 6 points of damage. And with that, as you squeeze into it, the head pops off and rests up against the side of the deck. You feel the body go limp in your grasp. And as you drop it, it hits the deck and just kind of oozes out across it.
You
Oh, look, he nodded off.
Have killed it.
It has been killed.
Killed and dead.
It
Perfect.
got bareheaded.
Boom.
Bare shoulders.
Yes.
When that was with
Oh, man.
151 points of damage out of 150 points of damage needed. Well, actually, no, because you had the +4, so it was 55. You were 5 over what you needed to do to kill it.
Nice.
It's written as 97, but I boosted it like right at the beginning because you guys were obviously fine. I'm worried about this though because I'm afraid.
Where is our friend? Where is our friend?
Standing there on the dock, he's got his mace resting over his shoulder, and he's just kind of like watching you guys go to town on this thing.
I wish we had
Fully
the ability
surrounding
to
it,
make
just
the head fly at him. Yeah.
You could have taken that.
Maze is just gonna walk over and pick up the head and throw it at him. Just like, here you just your head.
Okay, roll a d20.
Okay. Better. That's a 17. This is the bad die.
I gave him
Is there a hat? Is there a hatter in the town?
Hat.
a hatter, like a hat maker.
Yes.
You could probably visit the what are those places called where people buy stuff?
Haberdashery.
No.
Market?
Merchant, like
Marketplace?
the store, the general store. Actually, that is what I call the Feldar General Goods. Is the store right across from
I have a
the
very
inn.
specific request.
It's literally the only place to buy stuff in Feldar, and this is a huge like merchant town. So you've probably got a pretty good shot there. Okay. So,
It's specific.
Oh,
and for you,
yes.
I gave Thimdall advantage on it, and his first roll was a 2 and his second was a 1. So you throw it, and he, not quick enough, goes to swing his mace down to block it, and it just hits him right in the head.
Well, that's
and
using your head.
Leaves some stuff on his face, and he wipes it off, glares at you. I believe that was entirely unnecessary.
Oh, I just figured you want a little bit of the action.
I stood over here for a reason. You obviously had it under control.
I go over, I grab the head, and I go, evidence. I just put it in my bag.
God.
I need to report this. There are shadow snakes and zombies.
Weirdly enough, the zombie
this
turns to
town.
smoke and flutters away. No,
And Maze
the zombies do not.
Maze digs in her bags and found some dead, dry leaves.
Okay.
Sprinkles them on the body. Still just trying.
Okay.
Just like
They're crunchy
crunch,
now.
crunch, crunch.
Yeah. It's more like you're just throwing salt on it or a little paprika. Oh God.
I don't think it will come back now.
Perfect. Well, as you guys have defeated the main threat on the ship, we are out of initiative, and at that point, we are going to take a quick break. So we're going to take about 10 minutes or so here. If you guys want to enter into the giveaway for this set of dice, which is, again, from Tabletop Game and Hobby in Overland Park, Kansas. These are the Vortex Orange and Black, as named by me, fire dice. Love them. They are like really cool because they're semi-transparent and it really does look like flames going through the die. So if you want to see a better picture of those and get entered in to win some for yourself, you have about roughly 10 minutes to do so. And all you'll have to do is go to giveaway.rolethis.com and do the things that show up on the screen there. We will be back in roughly 10 minutes and we will draw for it right then. there we are. All the mics should be on. Yep, they are on. Music should be backgrounded, not overpowering, hopefully. I'm sure I'll get told that one way or the other very quickly. If you did not get entered, you've got about 5 seconds left to enter into the dice giveaway for this week. It's the Fireball dice. And I am going to be drawing that pretty much right now. I'm going to roll a dice just for the heck of it to waste time. That's a 1. That sucks. That makes me real confident. But we're going to head and draw in 3, 2, 1. Drawing 10%, 100%. That should be your Twitch username. So, Alithnul. I probably mispronounced that, but congratulations, you have won the Fireball dice. I will be sending you an email to the email you provided on the entry right after the show, so be keeping your eyes out for that. But yeah, Alithnul, I don't know, but hopefully I'm getting that right. You have won the dice for this week, so congratulations. And now I can minimize that screen. Go back over here. Also, earlier on in the stream, we had somebody donate $20 under an anonymous name. So thank you, anonymous user, for donating to Roll for Kids, which is our push for St. Jude Children's Hospital. So if you want to help out some kids, just go to playlive.rollthis.com and it'll take you to the Tiltify page. 100% of everything is going to St. Jude to help out children with cancer. So there's literally no downside to that. And we have deleted Discord. It's back. Perfect. So we don't need that one anymore. So you guys have defeated the big bad of the ship. And
what was his name?
I don't know. You could search him, see if he's got any letters, or search the rest of the ship, see if you find anything about it.
I'm rolling investigation. I want to know, who was this man or these men? Why were they there? What was the name of the ship?
Okay.
What happened to them?
I just want to search
sniff
for
around as a
goodies.
bear.
Okay.
16.
16, and what specifically are you searching at the moment?
I specifically want to know, like, what kind of ship was this? Was this a trading ship with just random goods? Was it a warship? Also, well, do I find any sort of insignia that might indicate where it's from?
So it is a, it doesn't have any markings on it. And you said you had 16?
Mm-hmm.
And you're searching like the deck and the captain.
Right, I'm searching like the ship. Like, so
well, you can't search the whole ship off one roll. So if you want to make multiple rolls for each like section you go to.
So how about I got a hero with a hole, I check the deck, I check the captain's quarters.
You check the captain with it.
Okay.
Okay. So from that you don't learn anything about who he is. The ship itself is unnamed. It has no markings on the side, which is uncommon for a ship up this way. Typically, they would all have some form of designation somewhere. Right. So this one seems more like it might be some kind of rogue ship. There's no flags that are present being flown or anything. And that would be a pretty easy assumption to make, that it's more of a kind of like river pirate type scenario. Because it is such, this is in essence a merchant highway. So it makes a lot of sense for bandits of the water, pirates, to be here. So there are some strongholds up in the mountains, kind of near the dwarves, that are known to house humans and other nefarious individuals that have joined up with them that are pirating the Aran River and and down by Edgewater as well.
I'm assuming they don't usually wear uniforms.
No. There's no form of uniform on them or anything along those lines, just basic random clothes. Yeah, and at this point, with all the decay and everything, a lot of it is just ruined as well. So,
zombie pirates of the rivers, eh?
Zombie pirates of the rivers.
Dead man tell no tale. I would like, as Maze wants to look down into the hole, because I'm guessing it's dark and I have dark vision, just to see if there's any goods down there.
Okay, go ahead and make a investigation roll, perception roll. Perception roll since you're just looking in.
Okay. What's my perception yet? Because I rolled a 14. 15 total.
15. You see, because you do have dark vision, you see like just some boxes and sacks and things like that piled fairly neatly. A few of them overturned with goods spilled out of them, like spices or grains, things like that. Nothing that's like stands out as valuable hiding down there or anything like that. Well, like nothing like no shiny stuff. So, there is definitely a lot of value in what's there, but not in the sense of like, ooh, look at that gold. It's not like anything obvious like that.
Okay.
Just commandeered things. Because the Erin is like the Mississippi. It's basically a small lake to go across the whole thing. So there's a lot of room for individuals to move across it in fairly large ships back and forth too.
So should we hire the team of dwarves here to clear this out and we get a
Why
profit
would we
from
hire
it?
them? They're gonna make a profit.
Yeah.
How about this? They get all of the goods, because we can't just like carry them around. We're not merchants, right? But we charge a finder's fee
Okay.
because we did find it. We did kill the thing.
Mm-hmm. True.
So I mean, it seems fair.
Yeah.
Okay. So are
What do you
going
think?
to?
And I just kind of pet it.
Oh yeah, because you're still a bear.
Yeah, still a bear.
Unless you've decided to drop it, so you're still a bear right now.
No, yeah. Well, no, I'm
Scritch.
still taking advantage of being a bear and just
Yeah.
sniffing around.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Actually, do you want to investigate anything as well?
Yeah.
Roll for sniffing.
Yeah,
Because you have,
I do have the
you have like
advantage.
you have advantage on pretty much
On
all
smell,
perceptions
perception.
almost. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to sniff around the deck, see if I notice anything
I almost did it. Almost picked my pen up with
unusual.
my toe.
I don't think I can fit downstairs as a bear.
I mean, this thing burst open the center portion, and it's made to haul stuff. So it's like if it was intact, it would be able to like open like double doors kind of thing. So you could fit down there easily.
Yeah, let's go below deck.
Okay,
Sniff
perfect.
around, because I don't think I'm going to find anything interesting up above. Too many conflicting smells and
Yep.
whatnot. So, you just want me to roll?
Yeah.
Watch him smell the pepper.
Well, that one's not going to do it, but I have advantage.
Yep,
'cause I have
absolutely.
Keen smell. How's a 21 sound?
21. Wow. Okay. What was the natural on it?
16.
16. Wow, that's a big. That's right, because
Yeah.
the bear.
Bear.
A bear has the massive bonus to senses. So yeah, for sure. Okay, perfect. So you at first you're kind of overcome by the smell, like the spilt spices mixing in with the decay of rotting flesh.
Not used to the heightened senses.
Exactly.
Do a cute little bear sneeze.
It's very, a little type sneeze and it
Aw.
poofs up some of the spices. And you feel your eyes kind of water a little bit and you shake it off and continue on. Bears have dark vision?
I don't believe so.
I don't think they do either.
I think they would.
Doesn't
It's not-
specifically
it's not
say
mentioned.
that it does or that it doesn't. So I'm going to say it probably doesn't if it doesn't specifically say it does. So there is light still coming in from the top and stuff, but there are a lot of shadows in here. You gather just a lot of like trade sense. So like obviously this is merchant style ship. Just the other side of the coin, they take stuff from other people and then they go and sell it or use it for themselves as needed. So you're not sensing anything through smell that really stands out. Trying to remember everything that's on there. And no, you're not sensing anything through smell that's that really stands out to you.
So I think I would like, if I could, persuade the captain or the little gnome Thundar.
Thimdall.
Thundar.
Yep, he's also a dwarf.
To buy all this stuff from us. Kind of like you say in a
so if you want to
fee.
head back out towards them, we'll, for the sake of everything, so that you are now back on the docks with Thimdall. Or let's say you're back on the docks and you don't see Thimdall, but you continue on to the merchant ship. Thimdall's doing other things. I was already thinking that anyway. So you're back on the ship and hailing Rugrak, who's going to lead the conversation.
Well, I just would, say like we cleared this ship for you, and if you'd like its goods, we would like a finder's fee.
For me, my ship's full. Talk to the mayor about that. I don't want anything to do with those cursed goods.
The mayor?
Yeah. This is his problem now. We dealt with it. We're leaving. We have to go to the dwarves. We have to get back home. This can't be a good sign.
Fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
Had fun in the mayor's house.
You said cursed goods.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a beat and go back to the ship, go down below deck.
On the second level down or third level down?
The one that has all the goods.
Okay. So the second level down primarily.
Yep. And I'm going to use Divine Sense to see if there is indeed anything cursed or tainted about these goods that might have caused these pirates to become undead.
Interesting. Is Divine Sense a features and traits thing?
Yep.
Refresh it again. Features and traits. I just want to read the specifics of it. As an action, you can detect good and evil. Oh, so it's weird. It's like basically detect good and evil, but under Divine Sense. So you have an extra action of it in essence.
Right, yeah, I don't have to use a spell
Right, you don't have to
slot
use an actual spell slot. You just get to do it.
I'm a paladin, and I'm like,
for sure.
let's root this out.
Yeah, it's like the easiest description of it is detect good and evil without a spell slot. So, cool. Okay, so you can sense anything affected by these or known location / fiend undead within 60 feet. What? I don't agree with that. It says that it's not behind total cover. So if something's behind total cover, you wouldn't be able to sense it. That doesn't make sense for a magical sense of the area. So that's...
I agree with you.
Yeah, no, that makes literally no sense to me as far as the way things work. So, yeah. But it is specific. The location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet of you. You know the type of any being whose presence you sense, but not its identity, like its name or anything along those lines. Within the same radius, you also detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated, as with hallowed spells, so cursed type of things. Yeah. Okay. I have to look something up really quick.
I want to avoid a calling of Strathholm situation if anyone's up on or just Warcraft 3 lore in general.
Okay.
Oh, here's all this grain we found on this ship. Don't worry about where it came from.
Yeah.
Just feed it to
Next
everyone.
thing we know, like everyone's a zombie in town. We have to
go clear the town.
Go kill everybody in the town, and now it's like,
oh, whoops! Now we're the Lich Kings.
And then by the time level 20 hits, all these little guys are coming after us, trying to kill us. And we're just like, we just wanted to help. We just wanted to keep this happening.
Gets complicated.
What is the creature? Just saying things out loud. Okay, there. That's what I want to see. And then back to you, which unfortunately I use your stat, like your page I had as your stat page to go find that. So now I have to go back to there again and read this. Because I'm pretty sure it's the case, but I just want to make sure 100%. Why wouldn't it be? It's the case. Whatever. Should have just gone with my gut in the first place because the thing itself doesn't read this way, but it makes sense for it too. So initially, yeah, when the moment you use it, you collapse to your knees as if you've had like, imagine a really heavy, like, I don't know, a blanket, but filled with like stones and metal just laid across you, and it just collapses you to the ground. You take a knee, even your immense strength not being enough to to fight against this just like overwhelming feeling of just darkness and just evil across this whole entire ship. And then you sense the undead that are decaying out as the dwarves toss them off into the water. You sense their presence being pulled away from you, and then there's something stronger that you sense, and you know that it is an entity of evil of some kind that you can feel is directly below you in the next level down. That is something alive and something evil that you can feel is the source of all of this. The energy that it emanates is what's causing this entire space to be cursed.
Okay. Are you guys down with me, or am I just going by myself?
You were smelling stuff.
After that, since I didn't detect anything, I kind of leapt back up.
And then you came back up. And was
then
this
after
before
I
trying to go? You talked to him.
I talked to him, and then I came back to give them word of what they told us
They had
about
said,
selling.
and then you went in to do your thing.
So he would have probably sensed us as I was walking back.
I
Yeah.
changed back to normal.
Okay.
So I know Bryn's probably still above deck, but I don't know where Maze is.
I would probably be walking up.
I'll say Bryn's right
onto
beside
the-
you, and then Maze is like at the top of the thing. That's what we'll say.
So we're within earshot.
Okay. We're going to have to look into this more. There's something below deck.
Okay. Do you need help up?
It's an evil presence I haven't sensed before. More powerful than that snake.
I go to him and try and like help stabilize him,
Okay.
like just steady him.
Mm-hmm.
They're down below and I'm up above.
Mm-hmm.
Maze will look around and see if Lamore is anywhere around, or sense Lamore.
Roll a d20.
Okay. That's a 9.
A 9.
I don't know what the plus. What
There
would
is
that
no
be?
plus on that.
Okay.
Well,
Just
yeah. Throw your perception bonus on there.
Okay, my perception is where is that at? 10.
You look around and you don't see anything close by. You know that he doesn't commonly come around whenever there's a lot of action.
Mm-hmm.
He tends to avoid that and come around more often when you're alone. But with everyone else being around, you don't notice him anywhere nearby.
Okay, and then I head downstairs.
Okay. And are you guys going to head down farther or do anything up here specifically? Anything at all?
Well, how... So, I mean, I am feeling that this is a very strong evil presence. Stronger than I've ever experienced before.
Kind of. The best way to word it is that it's really centralized. Like you have a very clear sense of where it's coming from and that it is a living being that's causing it. You don't necessarily, it's just so much of it that there's so much kind of like an infection that you, it's an infection that's been festering for a while at that. So you don't feel like it's the most powerful thing in the world or anything along those lines,
so
but
like
it's definitely like, ooh,
okay.
this is probably a problem kind of feeling, you know.
So I would say, Bryn, Maze,
Yes.
keep whatever is down there, down there.
I feel if there is something evil like that you say is down there, it hasn't come up with all the other things. Is there a way to quarantine the ship until we speak with the old woman who, according to the mayor, has known a lot about a lot of these things?
Perhaps. But a random old lady is not what we need now. We need the city guard. We need to keep this thing as tightly watched as possible.
Yes.
Should we go down and check it out, or are you saying...
I feel we should not.
I would not, because whatever this thing is, it caused those monstrosities to become what they are. Were.
Would not like to be one of those beasts.
Right. So I would say that we need to get more backup, just in case things get out of hand. So I remember where the city hall is. I'm growing up in the city, pretty good with remembering where things are in a city. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of...
So you're running to get back up?
So, yeah.
From the city.
Right.
Okay.
Because we were at the docks. This isn't too far away, is it?
Correct. The city gates are
we were, like,
closed at the moment.
So are we staying to, like, guard it?
Yeah, I would guess we would stay while he runs back.
The city gates themselves are closed. You see this right away coming up on the deck of the ship again. And there's been no, like, kind of word given to the guards of, hey, everything's okay. Mm-hmm. No one has come out to check anything. And it just seems kind of shut down in general. Not like, I mean, obviously there's people inside still, but everything is locked up. You're welcome to go to there. Yeah, they're on very high lockdown, high alert. Yeah.
I go up, bang on the door.
Yes.
It's me.
You see him pop up from over the top of the parapet.
Right. It's me. It's the bright blade that's been helping with your snake situation. Had a bit of a situation out there, under control now, but we might need more help. Can you send out the captain of the guard?
We aren't able to send anyone out. We have to hold down the gates and nothing more. Those are our orders.
Whose orders?
The captain's orders.
Can I speak to the captain?
Roll a whatever the thing is to convince somebody. Persuasion. Yep, that one. Not Bryn. It's like the only thing you're a minus on.
I say, yeah, there's a reason
19.
Charisma was my dump stat.
19. Harold! This one wants to talk to you. And then you kind of, like, you hear like a door shut, like on a, one of the towers. Right. Yes, what is it?
The undead situation's under control. However, we've detected something else that would require your attention. We'd like a little bit of backup. We're willing to take care of it for you, but we just want to make sure that if something goes wrong, your city's safe.
I appreciate everything you've done for us, but I don't have the men to spare. We are still waiting reinforcements from Edgewater to refill our ranks. I'm sorry. Ask the dwarves. They're great in a fight. They've come to our aid many times. They would be your best bet right now. I cannot open the city by order of the mayor until we have our reinforcements.
I can respect that. I'm off. So
good luck to you.
I go. They see me just like running down the.
How much time would you say
Clank,
this
clank.
would take? Would this classify as a short rest within like an hour or?
No.
No.
It would maybe take me maximum 5 minutes to run to the gate. Maybe 10 more minutes for me to have the conversation.
So it's probably an overall like 15 to 30 minutes.
Okay, so not short rest time. Gotcha.
Yeah, because short rest is a full hour, right? Minimum?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, not quite. Though there is still another conversation to be had potentially, unless you guys are jumping into something. So,
have the dwarves left the harbor yet?
No, they're on their ship. Well, you see the. I gotta really come up with a better word than sailors, but the sailors are back on the ship, like kind of rearranging the boxes, making sure that everything's in order. So they're prepping to go. Yes, okay. But you still don't see Thimdall anywhere. Rugrak is standing up by the helms, shouting orders, right. Not to sail, but shouting orders to organize and such. All the zombies have floated down the river.
Rugrak, can I borrow you for a moment, please?
What is it?
So, I was told you had said cursed goods, and, well, maybe not cursed, but there's something that caused this, and, well, it isn't necessarily your problem. Would you mind helping us take a look? Because I think we've identified where the source of this taint is.
He sits for a moment, takes a deep breath, pondering, looking across his men who are all fairly injured and worn down. But an individual of very strong pride and a sense of justice, he nods. I can't speak for my men, but I will assist you.
Excellent.
And then he just walks off the ship towards the other one. He does he's in charge in his mind, and he's going to assist and help. Right, so he's with you, and you still don't see Thimdall anywhere, right. But Rugrak is with you. So you have one fairly powerful ally at the moment.
Right. So we get down below decks.
Okay.
There's a door.
So there's basically not a closed space, but a open stairwell thing, about the same size as what's above, just slightly smaller. In essence, imagine bear form would still fit through it if you were still in a bear form, but that kind of size. Not quite as large as the main cargo hold, but maybe 75% of that width. Okay. And you do hear kind of some sloshing around, whoosh, 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 underneath the decks.
Is that a sound that we would recognize, or from my encounters?
Say you hear something.
That is not
we'll
a
say
sound.
All three of you roll a d20.
Okay.
8.
15.
14.
Okay. You're the only one who heard it, Kale.
8?
Yeah, so you heard that kind of sound. Yeah. But you have no effect. It's just you heard a voice kind of thing. Like a really dark voice.
Okay. Bryn, light a torch.
Done.
You've lit a torch.
Okay. All right. Now,
torch for this one.
throw it down there.
Toss it.
Roll just roll a d20. Did you roll a 1?
Yep.
So it goes down, and it was good. This, in essence, that was to see how long it stayed lit. But almost the moment it leaves your hands, you go to throw it overhand instead of toss it down, and you hit a beam, and it goes and rolls down right in front of you, and goes straight down into the hole, and for and gone. Brief second, it lights the stairwell, and then goes out in the water that's below.
In that flash second, did we see any shadows, any shapes?
Roll a perception. If all three of you want to do it, you can.
Okay. Question while we're rolling. Some of the stuff on the ship was not gunpowder or anything flammable or explosive. I mean, since they're throwing torches out.
Thankfully, you threw them into a very damp part of the ship, but
it was a win-win.
Having a general knowledge of this kind of ship, there is the potential. Nothing guaranteed, but there's potential for something.
I rolled
a
15 for the perception thing, 16, or just looking. 15, 16, without adding
9,
perception.
9. Okay. You saw nothing, Bryn. The two of you, you saw it kind of light this not like sickly green water, but like greenish water in the sense of, you know how ponds, when they turn over, they've got that green stuff across
Like
the top of them?
algae
They like algae
stuff.
stuff. That's what it's like. That kind of mix of bright green and dark green just all across the surface of the water there. And as the torch hits it, for the briefest second, you see it open into just clearer water, still kind of murky, but clearer, and it then goes out.
How deep is the water?
With your perception, you wouldn't have seen it. You wouldn't have been able to really tell. But I mean, you know that it would be a space that's large enough to stand in, and the amount of water is not to the top.
So the fire seemed to
Jesus
cleanse it.
Christ.
Huh?
The fire seemed to cleanse it.
Not in a cleansing way, just
Did we
in more
see
of
like
a
it move to avoid
separating
it,
way,
and then
like a separation type of thing.
Going
Okay.
away from the fire.
Yep. So it didn't have a, because you guys both were over 15. It didn't move on its own. It just the torch hit it, and
okay, it
because of the
didn't
torch
move.
hitting it,
Okay.
the water sloshed over to the sides.
Okay.
so,
So
ripple
it's
effect.
literally just pond scum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it?
And then it all
Evil
coalesces
pond
together
scum.
and bursts through.
So there's some scum in there. Can you take care of that? You purify that or something? I don't know. You're the nature boy.
All right.
You do have the water thing, though,
Yeah.
don't you?
No,
Oh, you didn't take that one.
no, because I don't get a cantrip yet.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay.
next level.
Nice.
Oh.
That would be really funny in this
Dang.
instance. I didn't
Right.
realize that.
Yeah.
Well, ironically.
It's like I drain the water.
I did not prepare purify food and drink.
Yeah.
We could drink it.
So, alright, so just to clarify, I saw that there's a heavy concentration in like one spot, right?
Like kind of like over the whole surface, from what you could see. Like you saw, you know,
No, I mean for the evil.
oh, the evil, yeah,
The evil.
like
There's
everywhere, but then like a individual form, kind of swimming around type of scenario.
Oh, okay, so I saw like something moving.
Yeah, because you don't actually see it. It's more of a
It was
sense
like an aura.
of like
kinda
it's
feel.
like almost more like hearing
Like
something
if you
than
had
seeing
fish
something.
in your waterbed.
Yeah, like that
you
kind of
were laying
feeling.
on it.
Exactly, it'd be like that.
I gotcha.
That's
So
spot on.
random.
I gotcha. There's something down there that we need to take care of.
Okay.
Because it's what's causing all of this, and we cannot let it A, get into the city, or B, get into the river.
I feel like just dropping down there is a bad idea.
Me too.
Without more information.
Rugrak, is there anything you can offer? Any alchemist fire?
I'm here to fight. Let's fight.
Okay, well, let's summon it, I guess.
And when you say that, and he just kind of like grits his teeth and like takes his axe and it goes down on the deck of the ship in this kind of hold area, just to make noise and see if anything happens. And nothing does happen at that moment. You still have this lingering feeling of everything. It's not affecting you in a negative way anymore. It's just you still have this feeling.
I'm definitely
Like you
feeling
know it's there still.
that there's something down
I mean, you know there's energy and life down there.
Attack the darkness.
there. That's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, I would say. Well, I have dark vision.
Right.
Maze would like to walk down. Obviously, I'd be behind Stompy Dude. Just keeping an eye out to like. I want to stop basically just above where the water level is.
Okay.
And then, if I can, like either look around for ripple movements. If not, like just gently touch the water with my hand to see if anything happens.
Sounds really exciting. So,
It's like an anaconda.
so your aim, because I'll let you guys just kind of control where Rugrak is in this moment. Your aim is to follow him down.
Yeah, follow him down since he's stomping a lot, and I.
Well, he just bashed his axe down.
Oh, he
just
didn't walk
He's
down
like,
there.
Steps, yeah.
Okay, because I want to.
and then just waited with his axe ready, kind
Okay,
of
because
thing.
I want to walk, to the top and just look around to see if I notice any movement. And I voice that's what I'm doing.
Okay. So you individually then are just going to go down a couple steps and kind of look in just far down enough to where you can peer your head underneath and look around clearly. And then if you don't see anything, you'll like try to touch the water.
Just to see if it causes any kind of movement.
Like kind of a see what happens.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so do a perception check for your just general eyesight down there.
Okay. Let's see. 6 plus. Okay, 7.
6 plus 7 is a.
No, 7 is the total.
Oh, 7's the total?
Yeah.
You don't notice anything.
Okay.
You just see it's fairly bare down there, but there's piles of crates, but they look like pretty disused, and they're not really like floating, but there's a couple smaller little, not chests like treasure chests, but chests like storage chests, just kind of floating along. And yeah, beyond that, you don't necessarily see anything that stands out to you as a thing. Now, to do for your touching the water, is your goal to see if the water damages you in any way, or to just see if there's any movement in it? Use it as a sense.
If by me touching it, if it does hurt me in any way. Okay. So kind of like put my hand in and then pull it out and see if anything happens.
We'll call that a nature check, I think, because it's a natural thing.
Oh man, that's what it was.
So go ahead and roll for that.
Oh, no. 14 minus 1, 13.
13. Okay. You place your hand gently into the water, just the tips of your fingers, and you go right past the growth, the algae that's on the top, and immediately you're into very cold water. It's dark down here, so there's been no sunlight hitting it. You're in the northern region. The water is very cold here, but that's it. You continue to kind of set your hand farther and farther in, and you got your entire hand submerged now, and then you pull your hand back out, and a little bit of the algae kind of comes with it and drips off back.
I grab some of that algae, and then I'm going to go to Bryn and see if this is, I explained what I did. This didn't hurt me, but this is what's in the water. Is this any reason to fear?
Do a nature check on that, I guess.
Yep.
17.
17. Total.
Is it green algae, like not red or
so
any discoloration?
Lime green type stuff. And I'm actually going to switch back to this scene now, just because we don't have like an inside view of the ship at the moment. So
17 total.
Yeah. 17 total. It's the most basic description for you is it is just pond scum kind of thing. So you're very used to it being in the swampy areas, where you would generally find kind of like a lot of plant life growing underwater, and a lot of kind of mosses and mushrooms and fungus and things like that growing. Just a general damp area type of growth that would be on the top of water.
Seems like it's pretty ordinary algae to me.
Okay. The water is very cold though. When I touched it, I didn't see any movement. I was able to put my whole hand. I didn't feel the bottom, right? So I would get a sense that it was
deeper than this
deeper
deep.
Than that.
Based on what you've done, it's deeper than this deep.
So deck 1, deck 2, we're descending into deck 3 is what's
in essence. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're at the entrance to deck 3,
deck 2
which is the
intact.
final. Yeah, deck 2 is intact. I mean, there's a couple of things knocked over, like the spices and such. It's just kind of a general holding area with boxes and bags stacked up.
No holes in the floor or anything?
No holes in the floor, no. The only hole being this intentional entrance of the shipbuilding.
Right. So in that case...
How does your breath work? Is it a frost breath?
It is, but
not enough to freeze the surface.
You might not remember that I already used that, and I'm kind of spent for the day.
Got you. You need a lodgings.
So I am going to descend the stairs.
Okay.
And as I do so, I am going to wild shape into a giant spider and climb onto the ceiling.
Interesting.
Because I can skitter around the ceiling, and I also have dark vision.
Are you going to do it in a Are you golly? Are you going to do it in a stealthy manner, or just go straight down there? Because she reported she saw nothing.
I'm just kind of like
just normal walking in.
So what size of spider does he become? Like a giant spider?
So a giant spider would be, in essence, the same rough size. Like the body of it would be the same rough size as like the bear, the brown bear. So because of spiders' weird, like that horribly creepy amorphic thing they do where they can like slide in through on like little tiny cracks, he can get into some really weird shit, even though he's a bear-sized spider.
He's a fuzzy wolf spider.
He's a bear-sized spider at this moment. Yeah, which is my nightmare.
I can see what other spiders I can shift into. I'm assuming I've seen a spider at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And you would have probably seen like the like wolf spiders. Individual giant spiders would have probably come across your path as well. Just standard kind of mutant versions of regular spiders.
Yeah, I will just be a giant spider.
Perfect. Did you add that too?
I did.
Okay, beautiful.
You'll see a number of creatures.
Oh, you've added a bunch of them? Nice, awesome. So that's what you've been doing over there with your clicks, huh?
A little bit, yeah.
Cool.
Because I didn't know this feature was here.
Very cool. Yeah, I meant to tell you about it, but I forgot, so my bad.
So yeah, I'm a giant spider. I'm gonna walk around the ceiling. I have 60 feet of dark vision.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go in there and scout around.
Okay. So roll a perception check first.
Okay. It does not. Doesn't seem to have any bonuses to perception.
Stealth, nature, animal handling, medicine, survival. Intelligence, and then wisdom as well.
No spider sense.
So it's the same as me then.
Yeah.
10. Yeah.
10. You hear that, but you don't see anything specific. There's just a noise of kind of almost a like ghostly sound. Kind of a ghostly howl would be the most sensible way to describe it, just from like me describing it to Robert kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But Bryn would just hear it almost like a low wind blowing through kind of thing. And then you could do an investigation to further, more thoroughly search around the area and to actually physically move and do stuff.
Okay. For clues. Yeah, I'll do that. I believe that would be a 16. 15 plus 1.
16 plus.
Yes.
Okay.
So Maze has heard the sound, right, that it's making.
Mm-hmm.
If I can do thaumaturgy to mimic that sound, but in an area where we can see, to see if it like is possibly a call, like maybe a threatening like stay out, and I want to mimic that, but like in a range that's like kind of like 3 or 4 feet out from us, just to see if it reacts to hearing its own sound.
Okay.
Because it says like the range is 30 feet, so I'd like it to be somewhat close to where we can see.
And you're back up on the second deck now, or are you on the stairs?
I'm still on the stairs.
Okay, so Bryn walked past you with a monstrous demon. And
I was
perfect.
just past one in the final transformation.
Okay, perfect. So either way, it's fine.
And I let them know. I'm gonna see if this thing will reply to its own
investigation check.
So yeah, so I'm gonna do both those things kind of at once. So you hear the noise, and then you hear it again from back by the stairs. You look back and you look back again because out of the corner of your eye, you thought you saw something like through the water, like it was peering up above the water and then just kind of ducked below. And so you've seen something and you know its location as of when you saw it. Kind of like imagine crocodiles, but it doesn't look like crocodiles. It looks more like a human-ish type face, like Smeagol. type of face, but you see this much of it, kind of thing.
Oh.
And it goes under the moment you see it, like it's gone.
Oh.
Almost to the point of where you feel like you might have imagined it.
As a reaction to seeing it, can I pounce on that area?
Yes, you can.
that's a spider.
Absolutely. I love that.
Yes.
So do that, and are you going to attack as you pounce?
Can I web it as a...
Could.
try
You
and-
could do either one, yep. Which one will you be doing?
I would like to web it.
Okay.
As in, like, trying to...
Crowley.
Like shoot the web at it.
Ensnare
So your
it,
web
yeah.
recharge, your web hit. Yeah, so you would do a ranged weapon attack, so roll that. You have a +5 to hit, so you have a +5 on whatever you roll.
18?
18 plus 5.
No, 18 total.
Oh, 18 total? Okay. As an action, the restrained target make it 12. Webbing can also be attacked or destroyed. Because of the, like, because this basically is like you see the thing there, you shoot the thing, and it hits the thing. So roll again, and whichever one's the lower is what we'll take because it disappeared right before you did the thing.
Right.
So
that one is a 15 total.
a 15 total. And it would be based on the AC of the thing then. Okay. So you kind of like spin around and rear back and shoot out the webbing, and it shoots forward and encompasses the water and the back side of where the hole kind of rounds back up, and it hits there, and it's there. You would have to figure out if there was anything that you had actually gotten, because there is part of it obscured underwater. The rest of it is up against the...
Do I see any of this go down? Because I'm in a dark vision, I'm kind of at the top of the stairs. Do I hear or see like a...
You would definitely like see things, like you would, hear. You would hear the movement, and the splash of water and stuff.
Okay.
Rugrak has conveniently, when he hit his axe onto the floor, which was after your torch had gone out, the edge of his blade lit up in a fire. So there is light in your area.
Okay.
He's not necessarily like holding it in, but in the second area there is light, and if he goes with you guys, there will be light as well.
Okay.
So the webbing, was it a stream that's like still attached, or is it just like a net? That
Like a net, a net thing. Kind of like if you imagine the old Spider-Man video game where he's like, and then sticks people to walls. That thing.
I will skitter over there and just touch the web and investigate, because I've got web sense. So when I'm in
so you just
with the web,
straight up would be able to see. You notice like
That's what I'm picturing.
small life forms like slugs or something along that nature. But what you saw is, from the best of your knowledge of like proportions and animals and things like that, it's not in there. However, make a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterous spider. Most spiders are pretty dexterous.
It's a 7.
7.
I don't see any dex bonus on the giant spider.
Okay.
Well, there's +3, but there's a separate thing that says saving throws. So I have a +3 modifier, but I don't know if that...
You said you rolled a 7 though?
Yeah.
So even with that, what happens is
These are my
directly from behind you, you kind of hear that howling voice again, and then the water just explodes, and that's where we're going to pick up next week.
Okay.
So, I know exactly what's happening next week too, and I'm really excited about that because I already know what's going down. So I'm really glad you guys went here, because this was like one of those like 1 in 100 chances you would actually find this thing and then get to fight it, and I'm super pumped about it because it's cool.
Is it like the creatures from the Descent?
Yeah, you should see this. This is what you exactly
I don't know.
As you described it, we're like,
Is it
that
this?
sounds like it.
Honestly, the the general appearance like that is pretty much what you saw. Yeah. But there's hair as well, like a white hair.
The wispy hair.
Kind of like it's not thick, but it's not like just wisps. It's not like Gollum in that sense, but there's like white hairs around like long hair.
Yeah, the moment that you said that,
you were like searching.
That's awesome.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah. You might not.
When I say I know exactly what you're talking about,
you know what I'm describing visually. Yeah, you know what that looks like. There we go.
Frame of reference. What's happening?
Exactly. And just in case you guys happen to glance over here, I'm going to change that scene there. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this evening. We will be back at next week, the 8th at 7 p.m. Central Time. Until then, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Roll out.
Adios.